Good morning, everyone, and welcome to day 2 of the 2025 Utah Preschool Conference. I am here again this morning, joined by my colleague Chelsea Oakes, who is the special education preschool specialist, and she will be joining our webinar to start us off this morning. And it looks like we have some messages in the chat, just catching up. Good morning to you all. Please let us know if you were here yesterday. You know, you are welcome to put any questions that you may have in the chat. And we have our USBE team members, as you can see backstage, and also UETN staff who can help folks that are needing help in the lobby. And you can also enter questions for the Q&A, and then you can give those a thumbs up if you would like us to answer those questions as we move forward with the presentation. So it's great to see folks returning, and we know we have new attendees joining us for the first time this morning as well. So welcome. We're going to jump right in, and you will be able to find all of the day 1 slides from yesterday in the session and Zoom events. And then also we'll have the updated copy of today's slides there as well. So I'm going to minimize my chat. I'm going to take us ahead to our next slide since I am helping us navigate. So let's see about we're going to learn more all about our USBE preschool team. So as you can see here, we are a happy team of 5 together with our preschool coordinator, Teresa Judd, who's also our direct supervisor at USBE. I've already introduced you to myself. And as you can see, I am joined by 2 other preschool education specialists on our team, Katrina Hurd and Jared Lisenby. Katrina was presenting yesterday, and you can also catch the recording of her webinar from Wednesday, taking a look at standards and literacy and assessment. It's a great webinar for you to check out and see. We also have Jared Lisenby with us backstage this morning. And as I mentioned, Chelsea is joining me for our presentation. And we want to also give a special shout out to our additional preschool team member, Teresa Harvickson, who is our preschool executive assistant, and she is joining us backstage as well. She was here all alongside of us yesterday, and we're happy to have her joining again today. I see some hearts. Wonderful. So I wanted to tell you all a little bit about myself. I have had the privilege of supporting statewide preschool initiatives, standards development, and professional learning with our team for over 3 years. So proud and happy to be continually inspired by my USBE colleagues and proud of our partnerships. A little bit about what drives me as I'm always looking to dig into a new idea, helping to collaborate with others to bring that to life, and then looking again to take a closer look to see how we can improve that and move ourselves forward. And a bit about me personally, big believer in trying to find that ever elusive, or at least it feels like, balance and joy in life. I enjoy spending time with my family, exploring all that Utah has to offer for local art, culture, and then trying to find a little bit of a quiet moment when we can to recharge. And then I did share some photos with you, a little bit of what I enjoy, the outdoors and gardening, traveling, love professional sporting events. Well, at least being a spectator in the audience. There's my dog, Petey, and then a recent photo from a trip to Moab that I took with my family. Okay, so now we also have Katrina Hurd, who I'm going to check and see. Well, I know she's backstage. If she would like to enter the webinar, I think I see her now. Perfect. I'm going to mute myself, Katrina, if you'd like to share a little bit about yourself.
Hi, everyone. I'm Katrina. I tell people I'm like glitter. Once you get to know me, you can't get rid of me. And I am just thrilled to be here. I've been supporting statewide initiatives now for almost 2 years. I'll hit my 2-year mark in January, so that's very exciting. And I have been in and out of every single kind of classroom that you can imagine. If it's preschool, if it's kindergarten, if it's public school, charter school, private, I've done it all the way down to like van driver for the summer swim lessons. So I've been in the trenches. What drives me, this picture from Ramona Quimby is like one of the things that just sits in my soul, and also live every day like Elle Woods after Warner told her she wasn't good enough for law school. So sometimes I'll just I have 2 teenagers, and I'll just turn to them and be like, what, like it's hard? So I hope that you can take a little bit of that energy with you after the conference today. And even when things seem impossible, you can look at it and go, what, like it's hard? And then this picture of these lovely women who graduated. One of the things that I am most passionate about is people who are advancing professionally in whatever way that works for you. So if you have a professional achievement and you want someone to celebrate, please shoot me an email. I will throw confetti for you. I'm just delighted at whatever you are doing to help yourself move forward.
Great. Thank you so much, Katrina. Now we will be joined by our colleague, Jared Lisenby, who is going to join us, I believe, from backstage. So we'll give him a second to join and let me advance our slides. Oh, and I apologize, Katrina. I did not get to your second slide of photos. And so there's
That's
additional
okay.
photos.
There's my family, my crazy kids.
Fantastic. Gotta love the kids. Okay, so let's see if we have Jared joining us now.
Okay, can you hear me? Am I here? Okay, let's go. My name is Jared Lisenby. I'm one of the 3 preschool education specialists, along with the special education specialist here too. A little bit about me. I was raised in the tiny town of Scipio, Utah. I been in the early childhood education field for over 30 years now in a variety of different ways. I've been at the Utah State Board of Education for 5 years now. You can see in the slides here, that's the barn I was raised in and my first haircut, all sorts of fun things. I'm just happy to be here and happy to support education throughout the state.
Excellent. Thank you so much, Jared. Thanks everybody
Christina,
for helping me learn about Zoom this morning as I'm presenting. I saw a message about the gray boxes. I apologize, those are popping up for you. Katrina, what were you going to mention?
I was going to mention the gray boxes.
Thank you. Yes, I'm realizing as I'm presenting and also trying to look at the chat at the same time that I am causing those. And so I apologize. So I will trust our backstage efforts. Just so everybody knows, as this is our first fully virtual conference this year, we are steep in our learning curve across our USBE team. And so we are learning all about how to present in different rooms at the same time in our location on a Saturday. And so thank you for your patience. And I appreciate my team members telling me about the gray boxes. That is good to know. Okay, and as I mentioned, all the slides will be available following the presentation, and they should be available now if you can access the resources in the session in Zoom events. And if not, we'll have them right after. So we'll move forward to our next slide. Okay, now I will turn things over to Chelsea.
Okay, well, as I know, Christina, it's hard to talk and move gray block boxes. So, she will be working on that, and I will just try to describe what is on my slide, which really it's just covering up one picture, and it's us in front of that. It's me and my husband in front of a very typical picture of Machu Picchu. Oh, she moved, so you can kind of see it now. But yes, that was our most recent trip to Peru in front of Machu Picchu, and I've been telling everyone, if you ever get the chance to go, please do it. It's gorgeous there. So that was I skipped to like the third bullet, which is saying that I love traveling. And so I also love reading, watching movies, anything that kind of helps me see the world and learn more about others. But professionally, I have always known I wanted to be an educator, but I actually was going to be a high school English teacher. And when my kids were little, I volunteered in their preschool class and fell in love. And so I thought, well, I'll just do it part-time while I'm going back to school to get my teaching license, and fell in love even more. And so when they offered me a full-time position as a special education teacher, I jumped at it and said, I don't want to teach high schoolers anymore. I want to teach preschool. And so I taught at Washington County School District as a special education teacher while I was earning my teaching license and a master's in education in early childhood special education from the University of Utah. And I was at Washington County for a few years before moving to the State Board of Education. I started off as a general education specialist, doing what Christina, Katrina, and Jared do now. And then 2 years ago, I switched back into the special education world, which is where my heart really is. So I'm thrilled to be here. I'm also a lifelong learner. My current learning focus is Spanish, and I feel like that will probably be forever because it is hard to learn a language. So everyone who knows more than one language, you are amazing, and I highly respect you just because of that. But it's a lot of work, and it's been 2 years, and I'm still at like a 4-year-old maybe level. Like I can probably speak to 4-year-olds, and they probably could outspeak me in Spanish. But trying to learn. And so I just really appreciate all of you for being here on a Saturday, because that means you are also lifelong learners as well. And we just really appreciate you being here. It looks like some of the boxes are gone. At least you can see the majority of the slides. Oh, until now. She's getting there. I think they're figuring it out. There we go. Okay. Well, that was all for my slide. But hopefully now Christina knows what's going on with all those boxes.
No, but I very much appreciate your positivity, optimistic outlook, and confidence in my technology skills, Chelsea. That was very generous of you, and thank you. I am officially not sharing my screen any longer. I've recognized that we were technically trying to be a little bit over my pay grade this morning. And since we are currently broadcasting to you live on a Saturday from the Utah State Board of Education office building in the boardroom, my pop-ups are conflicting with the sound and audio visual system that I'm now connected to, which is fantastic with great screens and lots of things to see. But I think that is going to cause a conflict then with my presenting from PowerPoint, at least with my current skill level. So Chelsea, I am not sure, but I was just going to ask if you are available to share your screen from your remote location, which may make that a little bit smoother since my end has a lot of gray boxes. That could sum up a lot of things currently. Yeah.
Yeah.
Thank you, Chelsea.
Is that working?
That's
It's not
where
a
we
full
were.
screen for some reason.
I love
but-
it. It looks beautiful.
Oh, it's showing the captions on the bottom, but hopefully at least now you can see the content.
I got hearts, see chats saying that works great. Thank you.
Perfect.
I will turn things over to you until you tell me to to talk again. I'm not sure what our next slide is. If you'll take us to the next slide, please. There we go.
Okay.
Thank you.
Yeah.
Excellent.
Right.
Okay.
And then, yeah, I think this is you. Is that
Okay,
correct? Or is it
perfect.
me? Okay.
I'm gonna go with it. I will help to give you the recap from yesterday, and we're going to keep things moving right along as we are excited to introduce you to our keynote speaker for their presentation that will begin at 9:30 here shortly. And so from yesterday, you can take a look at the slides where we provided an overview of our agency, the Utah State Board of Education. We shared with you USBE's vision just to open doors of opportunity for all Utah children, and wanted to also share information with you regarding how USBE works together as an agency with our board and also with our staff, such as myself and my colleagues that I introduced you to this morning. So the board does meet monthly, as you may know, and also oversees the Utah Schools for the Deaf and Blind, which you may be unaware of. And so they're in total managing the distribution of over $4 billion in funding to schools across Utah. Okay. To the next. And so then we wanted to also let you know that the agency does have a strategic plan. And so that is currently focusing on elevating student learning, promoting educator quality and effectiveness, optimizing oversight and accountability for both academic and organizational excellence. And as such, we very much want you to know that you and all Utah residents are welcome to come and join our board meetings each and every month. You are welcome to come in person. You can also take a look at those recordings that are provided to you online. through the USBE Media YouTube channel, which hopefully you will be finding recordings of our conference here soon. But right now you can go back and access that entire archive. So if there's something that you missed, please do check that out. And if you need any help joining us for a board meeting, we'd love to have you in person, or again, like we said, we're happy to help you see how to access that digitally. Okay, thanks. And then also, in addition to joining a board meeting, you may also be interested to know how to submit a public comment. And so members of the public are welcome to send informal comments at any time to their USBE board member, and you can access those hyperlinks through the slide deck and also through our session materials. And the public is welcome to send in written comments formally to our USBE public comment email address, and that would be in correspondence to specific agenda items. So if you go to our USBE webpage, you can access information looking to the agendas and looking to communicate those feedback points you would like to make within the different meetings, what the schedules are for both the general board meetings and also the standing committee meetings every month. Okay, Chelsea? Okay. Now for today's USBE. All right. And so Chelsea, do you still see, am I still going right along? Okay, perfect. I was gonna say I'm not able to see the names and our assignments, but I'll keep talking unless you want to claim a slide and then you just tell me.
Okay, that
Perfect.
sounds great.
Okay, and I'm also watching our time. We'll pause here in just a couple minutes, which will allow our interpreters to take a break and switch off too. So we'll pause at that point. But before we move into a 20-minute pause, then we're going to make sure that we have officially introduced you to our State Superintendent of Public Instruction, Dr. Molly Hart. You may have seen in the news recently that she recently moved into this position, which was formerly held by the state superintendent, former state superintendent, Sydney Dixon. And so we were so excited to have Dr. Hart in her position. And you can see that she does believe very strongly that education is the promise we make to the future. And so please let us know if you would like to, again, come and visit us for a board meeting to hear from Dr. Hart herself. She's always making a state superintendent message during the board meeting every month. And so it's a great opportunity to hear from her and also to get a better understanding of where exactly she sees our agency's work in alignment with her vision moving forward. Okay, next slide. Oh, and also we do have a clip of a recent meeting that she attended and she introduced and talked to herself. So you can access that in our booth. So I wanted to share a little bit with you about what I know as the Jewish meaning or the Jewish concept of teshuvah, which means a return and a renewal. And so we wanted to return you to a little bit of our topics from the 2024 Utah Preschool Conference and give you an update as we look ahead to our keynote speech, as I mentioned, with Dr. Nye. So we're going to pause right here and take ourselves a quick little bit of a break. So feel free to put any questions that you may have in the chat. We're going to pause for just a minute while our current ASL interpreter, Crystal, will switch off with Jennifer, her teammate. Okay, I'll always take the opportunity to pause and take a breath. No, this goes by fast. Okay, so taking a look, and this is also some of what our welcome yesterday shared with you all, but we wanted to make sure that you all knew that during last year's day one keynote speaker panel, that did include Dr. Nye, we did have a question from, at the time, our current superintendent Hart was a board member, and she also was a featured keynote speaker panelist from last year's day one keynote. And so she was curious as to how the continuity and initiation and application of services or implementation of services was currently being experienced across the mixed delivery system, specifically for preschool special education and also general preschool education, as it can be provided, as you see, from many different sectors within our mixed delivery system. And so USBE, in alignment with our work and our board policies, went ahead and conducted a community preschool needs survey. And this was during the legislative session last year. So it was right around, I think, beginning mid-January all the way through March. And then we continued the survey all the way throughout the legislative session, all the way up until when Governor Cox was signing those bills into law that were passed during the session. So we wanted to share with you some of the results from that. So next slide. And so these were the common themes that we saw throughout the survey. And so again, we're going to go over the information pretty quickly in the remaining minutes that we have, but you're welcome to take a look at this, visit our booth in the expo hall later today and ask us more questions about this information, but wanted to let you know that the top theme was mentions of public funding and policy in general, affordability and free or sliding tuition, and then access and seats, followed by many more, as you can see here. Next slide. The key insights from this community preschool survey, which was sent, again, you may have seen that it was I would say delivered, or you would have taken the survey through a software program called Qualtrics, which helps us to gather all that data and make sure that we can report that back to you in organized fashion. And so that was sent out across the mixed delivery system throughout our communication channels. And so those key insights included that preschool is seen as essential for kindergarten readiness, socio-emotional, or for in order of stage of development, emotional, social development, and long-term academic success. And so there is widespread concern that current offerings do not meet the needs of all families, especially those with financial or special education challenges. Next slide. Okay, and so then some of the themes that we saw occurring together. So this would mean taking a look at the survey responses to see, okay, if they're talking about this specific mention, then if they mentioned that specific one, then how often was it paired with this specific one? And so as we analyzed the data, we were able to see that funding and affordability was often paired together and clustered together, co-occurring with access and seats. Staffing and pay, or staffing, pay, and benefits was often together with program quality and curriculum. And then special education supports was often co-occurring with access to seats, or access and seats. Next slide. So as we take a look at some of that feedback, we want to also pull in what we were sharing information about yesterday with our mixed delivery system, and then considering how USBE functions with that and how our team can support you. No matter where you are in this mixed delivery system, as a professional, you matter. Your experience is of value, and we want to know more about if the support and the resources that we provide are hitting the target, or if we know we are always in an ever-changing market and community and cities and states, then we're ever-changing our resources and we need your help. So please feel free as you get these surveys and continue to see them, including throughout this conference, you'll get post-event surveys, which will go out, and session surveys. Please do be honest, because we want to know your experiences, and that data and those responses do matter. And we wanted to make sure that you knew that what you responded to in terms of last year, we have shared and is continuing to be part of the process of knowledge moving forward. And we'll have that opportunity to share with you again for this year. Next slide. Okay, and so continuing to take a look, wanted to underscore again how our agency supports, as I mentioned, all preschool programs. And then we do have some updates for day 2, which Chelsea, I think I've left you with a grand total of, 5 minutes, but here you go. If you want to give us some quick updates for today before we end our session and then head over to Dr. Nye's session. Thanks, Chelsea.
Of course. Yes, thank you. We always think we have so much time, and then it goes much faster, especially when there's technical difficulties. But some things, just highlights of what you need to know. We do have a virtual expo with exhibitor booths that have wonderful resources. You can also engage and interact with representatives in the lobby. So we encourage you to check that out in between sessions. We will also have ASL interpreters in select sessions. The next slide will list those. But if you ever have questions, please feel free to put it in the lobby chat and ask, where will they be? And then every session will have captions available. So you can do that in your settings. But if you do ever have technical difficulties, we have amazing technical support in the UEN technical support booth is what I believe it's called. So please reach out to us if you do have any issues whatsoever. And these are the sessions that we will have interpreters available. We will have 2 sessions available at 12:30 to 1:30, but otherwise there will be just one session. And this also includes that closing and farewell. And of course, the keynote is not listed here, but we will have interpreters in the keynote as well today. And then we just ask that you stay connected with us. We have a Facebook group that we would encourage you to join if you have not. We have amazing resources. Everything is vetted. Everything is wonderful that we share. So please join if you have not yet done that. And then we also have, sorry, I'm going through these slides super fast, but I want to make sure you have a slight break before our keynote in 3 minutes. We also have an educator spotlight that you can nominate someone. You can see past winners. That's a little pop-up that shows up on the screen, and you would just click that UT Spotlights in blue, and it will show you who our winners have been, and then also let you nominate someone new for our next one. And we shared this yesterday, but we want to again announce our fall 2025 Spotlight winners. Mariah Like from Wonder Bloom Nature Play School, Vanessa Severini from Park City School District, and Tabitha Fritz from Washington County School District. So just thank you to all of our amazing educators. And honestly, the spotlight is our favorite part of this job. It is the most fun when we get to go and give those awards out. All right. And I believe that is all for now. We will let Dr. Nye do his introduction in the next session. So you have a whole 2 minutes. We do have a question about how to enter the expo. If you are able to answer that, Christina.
Absolutely. So if you'd like to enter the expo, you are going to leave this webinar once we have concluded here. And then if you see back in the lobby of the event where you were to access this session, at the very top of your screen, I believe now it's a gray highlighted bar at the top with all of the menu or tab options. One of those is going to say Expo. If you click on that, that will take you directly to the expo booth, and it will prompt you if it's your first time visiting, so you know, set up your profile. You'll see a little avatar that represents yourself moving along the expo floor with all the other attendees who have entered. And we have over a dozen amazing exhibitors this year. If you see that they are there live in their booths, you can start a chat, and you're welcome to do so. Or there may be some exhibitors. It is Saturday, as we've mentioned here many times, that were maybe not in the office or unable to attend as part of their work hours. You can still access their resources. And if you need any help, we will hopefully have our team members joining our preschool team's booth in the virtual expo, as well as the USBE booth if you need any assistance or support from there. Hopefully that answered Rocio's question. Okay, excellent. Well, we're going to go ahead and move along now and go on to our next. Great. All right. Well, thanks everybody. We'll see you later. Bye.
Bye.